Hey, Magic fans, welcome back. This is your captain speaking. We got some more Strixhaven spoilers. Unfortunately, we only got six cards that were spoiled actually from the set. The rest are all the Mystical Archive cards, which we'll go through real quick, just to kind of give you an idea of what I think about them and a few other things which we'll get into when we get there. I don't want to spoil it for you. But to start with here, what we have is we have Environmental Sciences. This is a lesson, sorcery. If you guys remember, all the lesson cards can be grabbed whenever someone learns inside the set with a card that has the learn ability trigger. This one is two colorless. It lets you search your library for a basic land card, reveal it, and put it into your hand, then shuffle. And you gain 2 life. For a common, oh my god. I mean, not only does it let you land search in any deck, no matter what they're playing, plus you gain 2 life. Like this and the other cards that let you search up land, like it looks like a ramp strategy is going to really be viable. And I don't know how much people are going to like that because most people are normally not okay with ramp strategies just because of the blatant abuse it could be to the format, just because of the um, ability to cast big things that are almost unanswerable, very early in the game. So that's the very first thing we got to look at. So for our next card, we talk about Rise of, looks like Eextus or something. It's a silver quill card. So we have 4 colorless, a white-black split for the 2 colored mana, and it says exile target creature, exile up to one target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard. And then it has learn, like we mentioned before. You could do this, and you'll grab the other card that lets you get land. This is probably not the learn card you would do that with, just because it's already if you're casting this for 6 and you need more mana, I mean you're basically just playing a Nugan. Um, but yeah, I mean it's all right. I really don't see this being a big thing in standard. Uh, might be some draft capabilities for this, but other than that, not a terrible card, I guess. So here we have it, guys. Everybody get your permission slips signed. We're going on a field trip. So this card, Field Trip, is a green and 2 colorless. Search your library for a basic forest card. Put that card onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle, plus learn. So with this said, this is what I talked about earlier. You can cast Field Trip, put a basic forest onto the field, then go get the other card we just talked about, the very first card in the set, so that you can get another basic land on the very next turn. So by turn 4, you could have anywhere from 5 or maybe even 6 lands on the field, depending on other methods you use to get cards onto the field. It's just looking like a ramp strategy is really going to be a thing going on. So unfortunately. So moving after that, we have Steady Break, white and 1 colorless instant actually this time that you get to tap up to 2 target creatures and once again learn. So again, this is something else. You could use this on turn 2 to get your learn card to get your land on the next turn and gain 2 life while saving damage from creatures hitting you in the face for early aggro, since it's an instant. So, not the best card in the world, but like these learn cards are basically just tutors, guys. I mean, if you thought, companions were bad, being in the sideboard and being able to cast them for free, um, well, welcome for part 2 of that. So, not really. I mean, to start with, I thought this learn thing would be a good thing, but I think it's just really going to derive a wedge, especially on like Magic online sites or any kind of game where there's a best of best of 2 versus best of 1. Because in best of 1 you make a sideboard nothing but learn cards and you just go ham. Best of 2 you don't put them in your sideboard because now your deck is so linear it may not even be able to win. I mean it's half a dozen one, six the other, I know. But basically any card on it with learn, I mean, is basically a tutor. And depending on how powerful all these learn cards are when they come out and how they fit into the format, this could be an actual problem, much like Companion was. So, moving on. After Steady Break, we have Guiding Voice. Put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. Learn. Once again, this time it's a 1 white tutor. In the last video we talked about the black card that you can actually have X in its mana cost, so you have to have more cards on the field, don't get me wrong, but if you use that card in conjunction with this in an aggro deck where you have a white-black with planeswalkers, I mean, pump your creature, go grab your card to either kill their planeswalker or put yours back on the field. I mean, once again, 1 mana tutor. So is the card good? In essence, no, for what it does. But on the flip side, because of the learn mechanic, this card could be busted like any other card. So Moving forward again, this learn card is called Enthusiastic Study. Red 2 colorless. It says target creature gets +3/+1, gains trample, plus learn. So we already had this card once for 1 red, which was just +3/+1. So for 2 colorless, basically you're getting trample and the learn ability. I mean, seems fairly costed. It is an instant. Um, will it be a problem? I don't know. It doesn't look too powerful. Once again, guys, it's really going to depend on how strong these learn cards are as we get more and more into this set. So those are all the cards that we had that were new, that were spoiled. So now we'll get into the Mystical Archive cards. So for the Mystical Archive cards for this one, we have Approach the Second Sun, because, everybody wanted to see that thing come back. We have Revitalize, not too shabby. We have Electrolyze. Always liked Electrolyze. This art's pretty cool. Uh, will it see any extra play? Maybe. Here it's been upshifted from an uncommon to a rare. So that kind of makes me a little squeamish just because it seems like they're upshifting a lot of cards into rarities that were higher on the Mystical Archive, which is really going to downplay their value because a lot of these cards, guys, if you're out there looking at these first prices, most of them aren't very high. So like these aren't going to be the prize chase cards or lottery cards that everybody thought they were going to be. And some people I'm sure will be happy with that. Other people, not so much. Because me personally, yeah, these are great, but if they're in every pack and they're every card out there being played, then it's just another card, right? So moving to the next set of cards that we got. Here we have Venturous Impulse. So that's a card that was, just using oh goodness. I want Ikoria keeps coming to mind, and that is not what it is. Throne of Eldraine. There we go. That's the adventure set. All right, so we've got that. So with that, I do say I like the art on this, so it's pretty sweet. If I had to actually use an Adventurous Impulse in a deck, I probably would pick this one. Next we have Negate. Negate's a great card. Not real big fan of the art on this one, to be honest with you. Next one is Rob das Esa blah 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 blah. No clue what that's supposed to really say. But I do know that translated, this is Claim Your Firstborn. Um, Art's kind of cool. I do like the fact that it's got the goblin trying to steal the kid while it's got the hands on the left of the actual people who own the kid trying to keep the kid. Um, is it worth purchasing this card individually just because it's different for me? Maybe not. Really depends on how the format goes. I mean, if this card's a big thing, then it'll be worth money. But all in all, I think it's just another 25-cent bulk. And then over here, very last card. I know I can't read that at all, but I tell you, I know a Mana Tide when I see one. And to be honest, it looks pretty decent. I like the original art better with the tipping scales and what have you, but this one might grow on me, just maybe. And we'll leave it at that. So moving on to the next set of cards, we have Doomblade. So I like this Doomblade picture. It's very mosaic, old school, like ancient church glass style of picture. So that's kind of neat. Um, is it one of my favorites? I don't know. I might have to see. It might have to grow on me a little bit. So then after that, next we have Chaos Warp. This one's a red and 2. The owner of target permanent shuffles it into their library, then reveals top card of their library. If it's a permanent card, they get put on the battlefield. So this is interesting. It's a very roll the dice gamble card, if you will, for either you hitting your combo or taking your opponent off a powerful card. It is a mythic. Will it have an impact in any format? I don't know. I do kind of like the picture. Doesn't seem that shabby, so not too bad. Next we have Stone Rain. Um, Once again, Stone Rain at rare really gives me a feel bad just because of the whole situation. With this card, probably not going to be worth very much money because it's probably not even going to be played. Picture wise, it's okay. Once again, I like the whole stained glass, mosaic, ancient, I'm from a church window kind of feel. But to be honest with you, the last Stone Rain, that was in Time Spiral Remastered, that was time shifted in foil, that thing is a work of art. If you was in a Stone Rain, by George, you better be using that one. But anyway, so moving forward, we have Spark Reprint. Um, Once again, the same style, but to be honest with you guys, I just don't like it. It looks like some kind of kid show design. If I was just being honest with you, like this is the kind of picture it makes me look at Nicol Bolas and go, "Oh, he's cute." So nah, not really for me. Once again, at rare. So moving forward, Divine Gambit that just came out. It's still an uncommon. Not a fan of this picture of whatever this picture is supposed to be. Um, so yeah, I'll just leave it at that. Moving forward, Mizzix Mastery, red 3 colorless. This one here says, exile your target card from instant or sorcery from the graveyard. For each card exiled this way, copy it. You may cast the copy without paying mana cost, exile the mastery. And it has overload. This is pretty sweet. And I do kind of like the picture with the swirling lightning and stuff. In foil, this card I think might be pretty dope. So, am I really excited? Not so much. To see a foil, I want to see a foil because I think that's going to be pretty. And I got the same thing here for what it looks like. Uh, this next card, I really think I would like to see this one in foil too. And to be honest with you, I forgot to look up what this is. So, doesn't that suck? Anyway, moving on. Uh, God's Willing. I like this picture. Uh, God's Willing is not a real big thing anymore, and it's not really in too many formats. But as far as like art on a card with the knight with the hands around him, this is pretty sweet. I do like this picture, and I think foil is going to be top notch. So moving forward on to the rest, we have Compulsive Research. This is a hideous picture. I don't know why anybody want to do this. But anyway, compulsive research is you draw 3 cards, then discard 2 unless you discard land. Once again, upshifted to rare. So that's going to be another one of those 25-cent bulkers you're going to get. Not really fine about it. I'm going to skip Faithless Looting for a second. I'll tell you why. So let's move on to Gift of the Estates. So white and a colorless. It's a rare sorcery. If your opponent controls more lands than you, search your library for up to 3 planes, reveal them, and put them in your hand, then shuffle. A, powerhouse of a card. B, not real sure about the picture because it's got a picture of all the different lands. Like it looks like there's an island there and mountains on the end and maybe those are swamps in the middle because they're supposed to be purplish. I don't know, but um, I mean I would like to see more like a more detailed design like a real land and then like a bunch of plains in the background or something. But I kind of get what they're going for. But I think this is a good card. This would be a great card to bling out those EDH decks. Next, we have Tendrils of Agony. Um, target player loses 2 life and you gain 2 life and it has Storm. All I can say is this thing is a work of art. I mean, look at this picture. I mean, the person's got his body thrown back. It shows the thing, kind of almost like an X-ray vision of half of it, and then their face is off to the right, and it shows the crows and ravens and whatever, the blackbirds just streaming out of them. This thing is just beautiful. This should have been a mythic. Because this thing foil, I think, is going to be so sweet. Now, granted, it's only played in one deck. But, man, if you're going to play, this Storm deck, you best be having this card foil. Because this thing is just too sweet. I cannot get enough of it. I'm just blown away by it. Now, with that said, let's go back to Faithless Looting. So, we all know what Faithless Looting is. Once again, upshifted to a rare. Hate that already. 2, who the hell drew this? Like it really looks like the background is actually some of that stained glass mosaic yada 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 we talked about before. But then in the front we have like a real person who was like photoshopped into it with other stuff photoshopped on top of them. Like if I had to describe this card, in my personal opinion, and so if you like this card, then good for you. I'm glad you like it. But if someone was to ask me what I thought about this Faithless Looting card, um, there's only 2 words I could describe this as, and that would probably be hate crime. Because this is the kind of shit you do to somebody when you really don't like them. And so whoever made this card and put it on a Magic card must have some serious beef with Wizards or the artist or whatever. Like, I don't know what happened here, but this is just, I don't want to see cards like this ever again. For the love of God, don't do this to us, Wizards, because I'd hate to have to stop buying cards because they're just horrific. So moving forward to the next set here, that very first card there we have is Eliminate. Once again, I'm really digging this picture. It's a real anime kind of style picture. I think in foil it's going to be beautiful. It hasn't been upshifted, so I like that too. So I think that is going to be a great card, not only because of the picture, but because it kept its rarity. Next, Tainted Pact. Um, Once again, upshifted to Mythic. Not real fond of that, but it's not a card played in a lot of things. Um, the original Tainted Pact kind of holds a little nostalgia for me as far as the picture goes. But I really think I could probably get behind this card's picture because it seems kind of cool. Uh, it's kind of laying out the whole, up to the, all the philosophies and like alchemical symbols of how you're going to make this bad pack as you go into the evil tower, yada yada theme. So I can kind of get behind this picture. I can see where it's okay. So I'm okay with that. Tezzerat's Gambit. So I kind of got mixed feelings on this. I like the fact that they have Tezzeret on it. I like the background. I'm not real sure I like how they pictured or portrayed Tezzeret. That gives me mixed emotions. So, and once again, this thing's been upshifted to rare. So, no, don't like that. Next, we go to Grape Shot. Grape Shot. I think I can probably get behind this picture. Um, it's pretty neat. You make a spell, it shoots out from everywhere. It's got the mage on it, so you can see what's going on. You can barely see the other creatures. I almost want them to take the creatures out of there, honestly, to give a little more detail, to show maybe some more stuff swirling around, like the Tendrils card. I think that would have been really cool if they'd done that for red. But all in all, I can see where this Grape Shot's kind of cool. So moving forward, so here we have Agonizing Remorse. Now this Agonizing Remorse, first thing I like about it, it's stated uncommon, so that's sweet. Second thing I like about it is that is a sweet picture. I mean, you actually got a real guy drawn in a real cool, like anime detailed artist style with just a little bit of, abstract. And then in the back is all the abstract stuff that we've seen before with the mosaic stained glass style all in one picture. And I think that's just really cute, really, really beautiful, beautiful card. And in foil, I think it's going to be sweet. Next, we have Natural Order upshifted to a Mythic. Um, I can kind of get behind this. I know this is card only played in Legacy and what have you, but I think the picture's kind of cool. It's got that whole foreboding thing going for it. So yeah, that's about what I got to say about that. Um, Vacentia Crescente. We'll skip that one for now. I've got a translated version on the next page. Lightning Helix. Don't like that they upshifted this to rare, like many of the cards they've done with uncommons. But of course, it's a Lightning Helix, right? It's a staple in modern. Um, Other than that, though, like I kind of like the picture. It's okay. I would have liked more detail. Like, I really can't bring up how sweet I thought Tendrils was to begin with, and I really wish we had more cards with the kind of Tendril feel to it, or the Agonizing Remorse we have over here. If we had more cards with those kind of feels to it, I think I would have liked it a little better. But still, solid card, not too bad. So moving on to the very last thing, what we're going to talk about is this card here, which is Increasing Vengeance. Uh, so this is double red for an instant. You copy target instant sorcery spell that you control. If that spell was cast from your graveyard, you get to copy it twice instead, and you may choose new targets for your copies. And it has a flashback of 3 and 2 red. So this is a pretty powerhouse card. I like it a lot. The art I'm even okay with because it has that kind of, even with the mosaic stained glass feel, it still has enough detail. Plus, it really brings in on that kind of fire red of the actual red mechanics and the red cars. So I'm kind of digging this one, and I think it might be really sweet as a foil. So, well, that's just my personal opinion. So, not too shabby at all. I do like it. So, guys, with that said, we're back to the beginning here. So that's all the cards that have been spoiled here on the Friday. I know it's Saturday. It's a little late. I had a real busy day yesterday. I slept in. Not to mention I'm on the West Coast, so I'm a lot of hours behind most of you. So this stuff is going to be kind of hard to get out before you guys already see it. But for those of you who did show up to listen to me rant, give you some ideas about what I feel about the cards and the Mystic Archives, I do appreciate your time. And as always, guys, remember it's time to get out there, get vaccinated, play some Magic in person, and actually be sociable again. Enjoy our lives. Start living if you're not already living. And remember, guys, like, subscribe, leave some comments down below. What cards do you think, out of what we've seen so far, are really going to impact Standard or even Modern or Legacy for that matter? And which ones are you liking? What's your favorite art? And maybe we can have a conversation about that later on. And as always, guys, this is your captain speaking. Remember, let's make a nicer Magic community out there and always be kind. And until next time, I'll catch you later.